Welcome.
Folks, in today's video, we're talking about the best mobile game, idea-wise, and how I think they could make it better and a game people might actually play for. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, if you're wondering what this game's called, the game's called Archero. It is you've probably heard of once or twice. And the main character has a weapon. Bow, sword, knife to fit it. And well, you can get things like this, which are extremely powerful and help you level up the game at deep levels. This is screw talking the game. For example, you can get more shots or slashes or everything really. Or you could get increased HP, attack, and speed. And I'm thinking they could even make it an RPG. Which I'm not talking about rocket launcher. I'm talking about game roleplay. Doesn't really anything you got. So, how they do this and an introduction to what the game is. So, when you start the game, you have to fight these slime guys. You get things like this. Some increase your attack, some have special abilities, like increasing your attack if an enemy hits you. And yeah, that's some of the weakest ones in the game. Some give you lightning, you get little sprites. You'll see behind that. That is the bomb sprite. A very, very weak early game sprite that does explosive damage, I'm pretty sure. And you can get circling orbs. Or you can get non-elemental orbs. This game is the perfect idea for an RPG game if they made a shop, and instead of a shop like this in the game, and you fuse things, they could make it into an open world. Doesn't have to be open world though. Game, they could make it so there's bosses and all that. It's more of an RPG for you game. And that you can the upgrade, even after moving on to the next level. They could do that, and it could be insanely good. Yeah. So, for example, what I'm saying is, for example, you could buy rerolls from the shop for a few thousand gold coins. How do you get gold coins? Well, by just beating enemies. Okay? So, for example, one slime gives you 5 gold coins. A bigger slime gives you 10. Or a small, fairly game, 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, stuff like that. And for bosses, they give you 100 coins. That's fine. Say, for example, 500 coins, you could buy a reroll. To reroll all of the traits have access to. Or you could select a mode focuses on a specific build. Maybe hundreds of bullets, sprites, stuff like that. And only once have you got all the stuff you need. If you could set a wish list, which gives you say for example these SSRs. I wanted to get the King of all sprites, whatever that's called. These are the two I have access to. If I wish list that sprite, SSR, I get 10% increased chance every time, and you can reroll a specific trait. For example, if this is an SSR, I could spend 650. It would give me the same ability, but a different thing. For example, this could be this. Say if I don't like any of these, right? And I wanted a super insane one of every single orb in the game, and plus 2 attack. And just in case it's did, they have to things. But they could do that. And, it would be really good. And if I wanted that specifically, I could re-roll that specifically, and it'd give me an SSR. If that's an SSR, it would give me an SSR of that. And you can do specific where it re-rolls to a specific thing, those, just a little bit more. Or you have just a random reroll, which can reroll any other thing at the same area. And they could definitely make the weapons quality, because currently it's just a 3D basic game, isn't it? However, there are better versions of the game you can do. For example, placing all these boring things, maybe with effects, or maybe making the hero selection in a game could have you can make your character look specifically like you want, or you can use any of these guys as your main character. You can have a little pumpkin guy or this guy or that guy. Instead of them being enemies, you have this bigger one of these guys as yourself, all with different stats. So, for example, this could be a bulky build, really bulky build, but has terrible other stats. This you could fly and move way faster, but you have low health, and your attack is pretty pitiful. But you move around really fast, so you can avoid hits more often. Human, balanced build, equal with every stat. This, increased attack, increased HP, really slow. This, the same with this. However, it is a bit more focused on attack and has quite a bit less HP. That could be a good idea. And each of these guys, for example, this guy could shoot goo, that guy could shoot spiritual orbs, the human could just shoot a bow, the pumpkin guy could shoot little pumpkin guys. Or, in their final form, he could shoot homing pumpkin guys that run around and have so much HP and attack enemies. That would be a powerful thing to have. This could summon little bats at every attack and move faster for a short period of time. This guy could move extremely fast on top of the buffs he already has. But, there'd have to be a downside to double damage. So you might sign this up. And with the goo trail you can have, you have a trail of goo wherever you move. That has immense power. Slows enemies and does constant AoE damage in the area. There'd be a little green gas thing. Or maybe we leave that to the ghost guy. I don't know. I'm not on game for this. And the human bow can just have shooting arrows, I guess. And just give more bulk and damage and speed and everything, really. Maybe make it a tiny bit more better. Right? The ghost could this have? How about if this, has a little ghosty effect where also no hitting you warms it up and your speed gets decreased just so ever slightly. On top of that, change. And instead, the little loosely cloak takes the
Pause there.
to 5 hits.
You're back.
But
It's sort of coming out.
every few seconds, say it lasts for 15 seconds. 20 seconds, say 20 seconds. Right. You have 4 hits that it can take for you. Well, last 25 seconds to make it easier. People who are 5 years old. 5 times 5 is 25. Right? Okay. So, the idea is every 5 seconds you lose the map if you didn't get hit or not. Until the last 5 seconds, you only have 1 cloak hit. And if they hit you twice, only one of those gets blocked by your ghostly cloak. Any questions? Yeah, no. We're moving on. So, we have here lasers. We can focus on a laser build. Gives you laser sprites, laser arrows, laser boy. Everything's laser. Or you can focus on fire. But everything's fire. Everything you get, 8 or 9% chance to be fire. Or you can just select I want a random roll chance build, and that just gives you normal stuff like in the game. But make sure that you lower the chance of getting higher things. So the SSRs, make sure it's like a 3% chance of getting, and maximum boost you can get per roll, is uncapped. But make sure they do really, really low stuff. Really low stuff. Say, for example, Power Trio increases your HP, attack, and speed by 2 stages. Not by 3 stages. Make it slightly less powerful. Orbs, they just do slightly less damage. Sprites do slightly less damage. Because you don't do. And also, another cool thing, armor. They could implement armor. I know there's already armor, but rings and stuff like that. But whole armor, where your character, if you have a specific character, has their own specific armor. For example, the slime guy has slime armor. Ghost has ghostly armor. Turns into 3 ghosts for a few seconds doing his thingy. The slime guy gets extra bulkiness. Player gets a short zone. Gets slightly, just barely though, increased stats on every single thing. HP, attack speed, everything. They don't each, so it counts. And pumpkin guy allows him to shoot one big pumpkin up into the air, and that sends down a big pumpkin. Not as big as the projectile, but it does leave you vulnerable. And then afterwards, after it lands on the ground, everything in the radius is slowed, and if you get hit, you get turned into pumpkin pie, and it's like an eating animation, and you come back, but stronger, slightly increased stats and everything, for 50 seconds. But, you lose with the stats stuff, and your guy returns to normal. That kind, you need some sort. Yes, tanky, but it does have it does take a few seconds to work, so that could be balanced. And this guy, there's a lot of possibilities there to make money out of it. They do what they want. And you could also make these books. If you get, for example, you could fuse weapons together. Say a scythe with a sword, you get a sword scythe. Bladed scythe has 2 sides. You could use it as, it's cool. Are they like one of each side? I forgot. And you have one side of the scythe, the other sword, and the other side of the handle is sword. You could hit them twice with a scythe and sword. Or you could use whatever these are, I think I've got someone. Fuse them together. So I think that's physical. Or physical and ranged. Physical and ranged weapons. You can mix them together and you get damage. Just damage, really. Because that's really, really bit of damage. You can get damage on both of those increased by slightly less than what these are. But if it's better than is quite a bit better than just having one of these, So each of them gives you 15% normally, both give you 8%. So it's just slightly better. Overall, it's quite a bit better. And you can also do other stuff. Bow sword. You shoot swords from your bows. Sword plus magic. Or something. I don't know if it's good. This could be really good. You summon swords from the sky, and they fall down on your opponent. Or this plus this. What would that do in the ask? Well, you could summon these. Or could throw these, and it shoots magical orbs around them, a projectile. They're very slow, but do massive damage that ignore defenses on the enemies. Or you could mix these together and make a spinning glaive, pretty much. Way cooler. You have swords on all sides, spinning, and just slashes all enemies with its path. Or you could have this now, which is just not shooting them from a bow, which could not like slapping some damage. It looks cool. Or you could have a glaive and slice, which is it'd be really, really cool. So, and it'd be all over, wouldn't it? You have these really cool weapons, and if you could fuse, if you could get these guys, like you see this guy here, for example, if you get him, if you see, he's the NPC. This here is it. This NPC you come across in your journey. If you see 5 levels, you get to upgrade your equipment and fuse it together. Of course, you have to have a screen on. Really depends. And all the cards give you slightly less than what's displayed, or exactly what's displayed. They're not really a bit of a game necessarily, but maybe back them slightly less OB just to scale it down a little bit. So the builds are insane, but also make an easy mode, hard mode, impossible mode. So people have an easy mode, hard mode, or impossible mode. Easy mode is just the bosses are going to be slightly weaker than a player with average luck. Fight a little bit easier. Or before that, you could have beginner, where all bosses have 5 times less health than on just fine, easy. And then hard mode, the middle one. They have 5 times less HP than that. So it's hard. Hard is quite difficult. But this. Since beginner mode is just insanely easy. You get insane luck, but there will be another world where you can choose to keep your common mode out, reset, or just be reset it entirely. And that'd be difficult. That'd be very difficult to reset every single thing. That would be definite on impossible mode. Basically, on the second map, you have half what's supposed to have. Be quite difficult. And make each thing, say if that gives you 2, and that's impossible mode. And also make it so that everything does lower damage, enemies do more damage to you, give it a nice little twist. And let's say hard, but easy mode is just easy. It's beginners, because it's slightly difficult for beginners. But obviously on the second map, it's recommended go to easy mode, because beginner mode, come on mate, if you're hard mode, it's supposed to be normal. There's you keep all your loadout when you go through world to world, and it just overall be nice, and you can get pets. So basically, you can get if you've beaten, or say if you beat the first boss. It depends how many times you beat it once, you get the first NPC, or the first enemy you fight as a pet. Well, you can stats and you get better, or you can evolve it. And say the slime, it's a bigger slime that's slightly cooler, and then the final evolution of the start slime, when you beat the first one once, is the king slime, but not the king slime, because he has his own evolution. The basic king slime, and you get that by the time you finish it 15 times. But the king slime, every time you thingy it, you unlock the next one, which is one step higher than the previous one and has more trapped evolutions. For example, the final Archero slime, you can have the Overlord slime. You know? And this Overlord slime is super powerful. He could summon a bunch of slimes. Everything insanely powerful, you know? But second mode, make it ever suffering stuff, where you have to fight. What's that? Say you fight these guys, fight slimes, ghosts. Maybe replace slime. Then these star guys, really cool. But you do your thing again, good. And on top of it, all these ideas can be changed, to be original ideas. And but yeah, just cool ideas overall. And you can use the ideas to that before whatever you do. But really, being honor, these ideas come to you. Okay, unfortunately, they should charge you. If they charge $3 for this game, get if these RPG game. Well, obviously the base edition for free and the premium edition for $4. Which includes, because the free edition is only the first one. I'll give it the first world free, give you a nice little taste of the game. World 2 and Beyond are behind premium edition. And purchasing premium edition, you get for free a special golden name tag. A bow skin for the player, a slime skin for slime, obviously if these are your cards. And then you have ghost skin for the ghost, you got my white pumpkin skin for that. And you know what that one thing skins are for them? Golden. I think that's all they have to do. Is turn it on Microsoft Paint. Just have to turn it. This button here feels go to a goldy colour. You see that gold? If it says that. Yeah? Well, more video, I guess. Enjoy. How do I there. I didn't stop editing. I just stopped. Still like think. Why is it actually see? This line is anything that looks like this. Guy. It makes perfect sense. Just call them slime water. And then, have slimes being allies and have a power choice instead of enemies. And you could turn the enemies into angry slimes. And these angry slimes, you have to birth that slime kingdom or something. And you have to invade the slime kingdom to defeat them. And they'll join you. Angry slime kingdom is slimes. Evil slime. And the goal of the game is to make sure the evil guys not evil anymore. I don't know. Well, the game would be amazing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, folks. finally done, folks. Sorry for making it this long, but literally nothing. Read the video on that. So this was the best unused game idea by Captain Z. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.